Welcome back to the channel. Center Parcs has changed in 2025, and depending on who you ask, that's either a really good thing or a huge disappointment. I've been coming to Center Parcs for over 2 decades. Before kids, after kids, across different villages, different phases of life. So this isn't a rant, and it's not a blind praise either. There are 10 changes that have reshaped the Center Parcs experience in the last year. Some genuinely brilliant, others far more divisive. And number 1, well, that changes everything. So stay tuned for my list of the top 10 updates to your Center Parcs experience going forward. At number 10, changes to the booking window times. And honestly, this one feels more like a head office issue than a guest one. Booking windows now open at different times depending on the village, all aimed at keeping the website running smoothly. From my own personal experience, booking every few months, I've never personally had a major issue with the website loading, even for festive and or summer breaks that we've had. That said, I also don't book at Christmas or over Christmas, New Year, or the peak 6-week school holidays, when the demand is at the absolute highest. If those guests are still experiencing website crashes, queues, or failed bookings, then this change probably does make sense. And let's not forget, during the pandemic, booking could be chaos. Back then, even swimming had to be pre-booked. Alarm set for 6:30 AM, pages crashing, disconnects mid-booking. Trying to line out activities was stressful, and if it went wrong, it could genuinely sour a trip 3 months before it even began. So while this change might fly under the radar for most guests, if it prevents even a repeat of that experience, it's probably a smart move. At number 9, Center Parcs have announced reduced prices for over 85 activities. And on the surface, this sounds like a big win. But in reality, the impact feels fairly small. Across the board, most prices have only dropped slightly. A few activities saw more noticeable reductions, but not enough to suddenly make your budget feel much deeper. I imagine Center Parcs has the data to know which activities are less popular, but they also have to balance staffing, running costs and admin, so it's not as simple as just slashing prices. What I did notice on my most recent booking is that many of these discounts only apply when activities are booked together. For example, badminton was cheaper when booked alongside football pool, which was also discounted. You could argue that to benefit from the saving, you have to actually spend more. There are some genuinely lower standalone prices, but these tend to be during off-peak times, like early mornings or later afternoons. So ultimately, paying less is always better than paying more, but I don't think these reductions alone are enough to change the minds of families who already feel that Center Parcs is expensive. At number 8, Adventure Nets. A Longleat specific change or enhancement, completely unique to that village and completely new this year. They're high in the forest, they're by the lake, nets connecting one tree to the next. No harnesses required. That freedom makes a huge difference. And you can bounce, move, explore without restriction. For guests who love the old mini golf and the location, this might be a tough sell. But visually, it is beautiful, it does work. The trampoline section is pure chaos in the best way. The biggest downside, the 30-minute time slot. It's far too long. After 10 minutes, you're soaked through with sweat. And the points-based system, well, that wasn't well explained on our visit. But despite this flaw, it is a welcome addition, and it shows Center Parcs trying something new, bringing something new, and enhancing the experience for its guests. At number 7, the Early Risers Spa session. I've often driven 4-hour round trip to Center Parcs just for a spa day, without even staying overnight, midweek, or at weekends. And before kids, anything over 3 hours honestly felt like a long time in it. Now, I'll admit, it's not enough. It's bliss. I could happily fall asleep in the forest nest or inside the Scandinavian snug. This is the first time I've actually been excited to book a spa session 3 months before a visit. At the moment, this change is limited to Sherwood Forest and Woburn Forest only, but hopefully it rolls out to the other villages too. What I really like is that the 7 AM slot allows my family to look after our 18-month-old. The 2-hour runtime means I'm back before her mid-morning meltdown, so everyone's happy. The downside, the price. £40 for 2 hours with no food, compared to the existing 4-hour session at £75, which includes an antipasti and a drink. That said, I haven't experienced it yet, and when I do, you'll find my full review on this channel sometime after March. At number 6, a brand new leisure bowl at Longleat Forest. Now, if this change had rolled out across all Center Parcs villages, this could easily have been the best change of the year. But for Longleat guests specifically, this is huge. The entire experience has been completely transformed. Before, the old bowling area was dimly lit, it was outdated and honestly not very inviting. Sticky carpets, tired decor, and a location that felt more like an afterthought than a destination itself. It used to sit right by subtropical swimming paradise in the plaza. Now, it's been moved near the back entrance with its own dedicated doorway, and it feels like a completely different venue. The new leisure bowl is modern, slick and huge. There's a games room, soft play and a large open dining space that shares its kitchen with hacks. And honestly, it feels like what the sports cafe always should have been. Open, relaxed, modern. We went on the last night of our stay and it genuinely left me wishing we'd gone earlier in the week, just so we could go again. Yes, drinks are still expensive, it's Center Parcs, but the atmosphere makes up for it. Children laughing, parents relaxing, groups chatting, enjoying themselves. It really does set the tone for the whole week. I do not have enough superlatives for this experience. It was superb and I really recommend it.